Hare Krishna. So welcome all of you today. And today's topic of discussion is who is Supreme Lord? So in simple words, who is the supreme of everything we see? So now if we try to understand, analyze, use our brains, we can come to a simple conclusion that there can be one singular supreme. That there cannot be multiple supreme personalities. No, there can be one singular person or singular entity who can be called as supreme. There cannot be multiple. So now, having understood this, we want to understand who is that one singular person. So in the Vedanta Sutra, there is an aphorism called Janmadi Yasya Yataha, meaning Janmadi Asya Yataha means from whom everything else originated. So we come down to Bhagavad Gita, Krishna speaks, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate. From me everything originates and everything rests upon me. So if we combine these two, where Vedanta Sutra says that Supreme Personality, God, is one from whom everything originates, and Krishna speaking that from me everything originates, we can easily understand that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. But then just saying this is not sufficient. People will want to know more. How he is God? What is his qualities? Why do we have to worship him? So Parashar Muni, yet another very famous philosopher, he says in Vishnu Puran that God is a person in whom these qualities are in full. What are these qualities? Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya shashashriya jnana vairagyam. So Aishwarya means he is supremely wealth, powerful, supremely rich. He has all the wealth in his hand. Viryasya, he is fully powerful. Yashashasya, he is very famous. Shriya means he is very beautiful. Jnana means he is fully knowledgeable. Vairagya means still he is renounced. So these qualities we can see in Krishna. That's why we call Krishna the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He had entire wealth. While Krishna was living in this planet, was doing his Prakatya Leela 5,000 years back, in Dwarka he had 16,000 palaces made of gold. You go and see in Bhagavatam, we see that the pillars were made of gold, the palaces were made of gold. All the queens of Krishna were wearing so much of gold, jewelry. So he had that much wealth. Nobody in this world can even think of such a wealth, of having 16,000 palaces. Imagine even the president of the biggest country, America, he has only few palaces. 16,000 palaces, big number. Aishwaryasya, he has lot of wealth. Viryasya means he has strength. Strength, unparalleled strength. Imagine when Krishna was challenged by Indra, he lifted a big hill on his hand without any difficulty. He didn't go for practicing weightlifting to lift Govardhan hill. When it was demanded, he jumped from a mountain which was height 88 miles. Tell me which athletic in this world can jump from 88 miles long. So all these feats for Krishna were a child's play. Killing of demons, killing of Putana, Trinavata, all these things were just child's play for Krishna. That is why we call Viryasya, supremely strength. He was 7 years old, 7 to 8 years old, when he fought with a wrestler called Chanura, and with a single fist he killed such powerful wrestlers, even Kamsa. So that is called as Viryasya. Viryasya means fully powerful. Aishwaryasya yashasya shriya. Yashasya shriya. Yasha means fame. Imagine some personality did his activities. His fame is being glorified all over the world for more than 5,000 years. Many great kings came in our lineage, but after they die, within 100 years, 200 years, they are gone. Their fame is gone. We probably don't know who ruled this earthly planet just 300, 400 years back. But Krishna, when he did his activities, his fame is spread all over. There are more than 3 lakh around temples around the world who are worshipping Krishna. So that is his fame, Yasha. Yashasya Shriya. Shriya means beauty. The beauty of a personality actually attracts everyone. In fact, Krishna means Sarva Akarshati iti Krishna, one who attracts everyone. So now somebody may say, okay, he is very attractive. Yes, what's wrong? Even there are so many people who are very attractive in this world as well. Right? But this world, we see that we coronate somebody as Miss Universe. But again, next year, again we coronate somebody else as Miss Universe because the beauty is changing. But Krishna's beauty is always ever fresh. We never see that Krishna has become old. We never see that Krishna's bodies have wrinkles. So this is the beauty of Krishna. Now generally, when somebody is beautiful, he only attracts people within the same species. But when Krishna's beauty, we see in Vrindavan, even the peacocks, even the deers used to stop wandering in the forest, look towards Krishna's beauty when Krishna is passing by. So that is the beauty of Krishna. Krishna was so beautiful that Yamuna, when Krishna was walking nearby, Yamuna used to overflow to come closer to Krishna. That kind of attraction Krishna had. So that is the meaning of God's beauty. So that is the meaning of a definition of God. He just doesn't attract few women of opposite sex, but attracts everyone. So that is the beauty of Krishna. Jnana. Jnana means knowledge. As Krishna says, everything originates from him, so naturally he has knowledge of everything. But still, when there are discussion of philosophy, we see that Krishna presents such eloquent philosophy that all the philosophers of this world are studying that and still sometimes not understood. Bhagavad Gita, the masterpiece of Krishna's philosophy, has been read, repeated and discussed in all sections of philosophy. But we never see that Krishna had to refer some manuals to give the class of Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna was in utter need for a knowledge which will enlighten him. And Krishna just spoke Bhagavad Gita. Uddhava was in disappointment that Krishna will live. How will I live my life? Krishna just spoke Uddhava Gita. So this is the meaning of supremely knowledgeable person. He doesn't import knowledge, rather he exports knowledge, source head of knowledge. And then finally Vairagya. Vairagya means who is detached. So somebody who is having full wealth, somebody who is having full strength, fame, knowledge, beauty, he might not be having this quality of being renunciate. But however, Krishna is renounced. He is detached from his ideas of he is supreme. When there was a need, Arjuna wanted a charioteer. Krishna took the role of a charioteer to help his devotee. Nanda Maharaj, who is a devotee of Krishna, who is in a parental mood towards Krishna, Krishna lifted his Nanda Maharaj's footwear on his head. Imagine you are such a great personality, you would not even touch the foot of anyone else. But Krishna, out of his renounced attitude, he lifted the foot of Nanda Maharaj's on his head. And in various exchanges, we see that the Supreme Lord is not detached. He is rather very humble. He exchanges love with everyone. So in this way, we can understand that Krishna is Supreme Lord. Krishna is miraculously great. In this way, from scriptures, we can easily understand that Krishna is Supreme Lord. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.